Hi there. I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome you to your comprehensive exam. My name is Dr. Jamie Klein, and I will be the reader for your comprehensive examination. Students have a lot of questions when they start into their comprehensive exam and are often nervous and anxious. And so I wanted to provide a little bit of feedback early on in the session about some of the main questions that students have, issues that I see very common throughout comprehensive examinations, etc. So as I said, my name is Jamie Klein. I live in Florida. However, I am from Wisconsin initially. I teach online for 5 universities. I earned my PhD in 2007 online. And I too had to take comprehensive exams, so I remember how stressful and anxious they can make you. So without further ado, I would like to share my screen here and go through some of the most common questions. Of course, if you have any further questions, I'm always available to talk one-on-one, and you can always email me to set up the time to do that. So, some of the questions and answers that I get the most often include, what about submission time? So, submission times are very important with your comprehensive exams. In other classes, you are allowed to submit a little bit late if needed and able to just earn some late penalties for doing so. However, your comprehensive exam is very different. You may not submit this comprehensive examination late. It must be submitted on the Sunday that it is due, or it is an automatic unsatisfactory grade. So please keep in mind that regardless of how well you write it, if it's late, it's going to receive an unsatisfactory grade and you'll be completing this course again. It also does not do you any good to submit early because you won't receive your feedback until the final day of the class. Therefore, I would highly recommend, if you do finish early, that you give it some time, take some time away, and then come back and review it after you've had a break from it, so that you can maybe find any issues that you weren't seeing as you were in the process of writing. Also, APA formatting is absolutely essential in your comprehensive exam. It's worth 2.5 points of your entire 25-point grade, and you need to earn a minimum of 20 out of 25 points. So you don't want to lose points on things that are APA formatting and things like that, because honestly, there's a book that you can use to tell you how to properly format everything. So there shouldn't be a reason to not be properly formatted. Your papers need to be double-spaced, Times New Roman, 12-point font. Each paragraph should be indented, 1/2 inch from the left margin. Your headings need to follow APA formatting standards. There are 5 APA level headings. Please make sure that you understand how each of them works within a document so that you are properly using them. Citations are extremely important. You must cite in the text wherever you use an outside source. So please make sure that you are citing appropriately. And most students have trouble with their reference listing. Please make sure that you double, triple check your reference listing to make sure that it is AP formatted. There are so many resources out there to help you with APA formatting, even online. So just make sure that you're formatting appropriately. Please keep in mind, if you are looking at the library databases, those databases have a feature where it will let you just click a button and cite it with APA. Those are not correct. You can use that to copy and paste the information in, but the formatting is not correct. That is a third-party database that North Central does not own, so we do not have any control over what that looks like. So please just know that you can use that for the content, but the formatting is likely going to be incorrect. If you have other questions on APA formatting, make sure you use your resources. There are plenty of videos out there. There are plenty of resources out there for you to use so that you don't lose points on something as simple as APA. The use of person in your writing. Please remember that scholarly and academic writing requires the use of third person. You do not use first or second person in your comprehensive exams, just as you do not use them in your dissertation. So please make sure that in all of your writing, you are not using I, me, my, we, our, you, your, us. Those are first and second person. So if you need to refer to someone, you must do it in third person. Page length requirement. Every one of these papers, the page length requirement is 10 to 15 pages. That is the content only. That does not include the title pages. That does not include the reference pages. That is just the content of each question. If your answer to the question is 9 pages or 9.5 pages or 11 pages, or 16 pages, it will not pass the exam. It must be between 10 and 15 full pages. So please keep that in mind as you're writing. If you're writing too much, and that is often the case for students, please make sure you're writing as clearly and concisely as possible, just getting straight to the point, being very direct in what you're saying, and eliminating any filler words and phrases that aren't necessary, like therefore, however, likewise, in order to. Those types of words are filler words and are not necessary in this type of writing. Now, in regard to the page length, this is what your comprehensive exam should look like. The very first page should be the NCU cover page. The second page of your entire comprehensive examination document should be the APA formatted title page of your first question. The third page overall in your comprehensive exam document should be a copied and pasted version of question 1. It should take up the entire page. So on page 4, you will actually start writing your first answer to your first question for your comprehensive exam. Once you have completed all that content, the very next page after the content will be your reference listing. The page after your reference listing will be the title page for your second question, followed by a page with the second question copied and pasted, and then the next page would be the content of the second answer, followed by the references, and so on and so forth, so that you have all 4 questions in one document, but each question has a title page, the question, your response, and references listed. If you have any more questions about that, make sure you send me an email. Keep in mind that you are at the doctoral level here. So all sources that you use should be academic sources. There should not need to be non-scholarly sources throughout your entire comprehensive exam, just as there won't be a lot of non-academic sources in your dissertation. So please keep in mind that you do want to use peer-reviewed research and scholarly sources for your sources in all the questions of your comprehensive exam. These are often found either using Google Scholar or using the NCU library. So just please keep in mind that you need to use academic sources. In addition, although some of the sources that are provided to you in the questions are a little bit older, they obviously still have relevance and are important. So please keep in mind that unless you're looking at seminal research, you should be using current research in your writing. Critical thinking is very important at the doctoral level, and this will be a high expectation of you when you're writing your dissertation. Please make sure that you're analyzing, synthesizing, and evaluating the research that's provided. Analyzing, remember, is to take things apart. So you're looking at research and you're breaking it down. Synthesizing is kind of the opposite, where you're looking for similarities in the research itself. So you're basically putting things together you're looking at two different sources and you're finding those similarities between the two, and then you're writing about those relationships and similarities. So please keep in mind that you want to use those higher level critical thinking skills throughout your entire comprehensive examination. You can find out more about these higher levels of critical thinking by looking up Bloom's taxonomy in a Google search. Make sure you start with an outline of your information. I found that students who use an outline to answer all of the questions tend to better address each section that is required. The problem becomes that when students do not create an outline, they often miss one section of a question, and obviously that will cause a loss of points. So you want to make sure that you've got an outline to work with. Also make sure that you've reviewed the grading rubric very closely so that you understand exactly how you are graded on these exams. It is possible to pass 1, 2, 3, or all of the exams. So please make sure that you've looked at that grading rubric and that all 4 of your questions meet all of the grading rubric standards. This way you can better assure yourself that you will earn a satisfactory score on all of them. Again, you need to earn a 20 out of 25 in order to pass each question. If you do not pass 1 or more questions, you will need to retake the course if this is your first time taking it, and you will only be required to write the ones that you did not pass, and basically you'll be revising your current ones. I fully believe that if you don't pass this first time, I will have provided you with enough feedback inside of those documents that if you follow it, you shouldn't have any problem passing the second time. But let's hope that you get through and pass it on the first time so that we can move forward and you can move on to the dissertation phase of your examination. If you do have any other questions, please let me know, and I would be happy to help in any way that I can. And hopefully this was a helpful little video on some tips and tricks for success. And I do look forward to seeing you in class and providing you with some feedback each week. And let's hope for a positive outcome in 12 weeks and get you moving on to the next class. Thank you.